Hey everyone, this is Chris Keysford from Your Guitar, hanging out at Marathon Music Works in Nashville, Tennessee with Christian. Christian, how you doing?
Hey man, great. Dude,
Great.
Good to be here.
Dude, thanks for doing this for us. Christian is from the Black Angels, which I dearly love as a band. It's like Dick Dale was traveling out of California, got lost somewhere near I-35, took a wrong turn and hung out with Rocky Erickson. Black Angels. If that appeals to you, check them out.
I like that description.
Christian, I'm done blabbing. Talk to me about your guitar. What guitars, what would you say is like number one or the one that you play the most?
The main guitar is this Rickenbacker. This has been with me since the beginning of the Black Angels. So I got this back in probably 2003. I actually had an SG at first that I had stolen from Alex's house.
Ooh.
That very day I went on eBay looking for a left-handed Rickenbacker because I'm obsessed with John Lennon.
Yeah.
And the Beatles just in general. And I found this one up there.
Did you go for the 345 specifically? Because John was always playing the 320s and 330s.
I know, I couldn't find that, especially in left-handed.
Yeah,
Rickenbackers are very hard to
tough.
find left-handed. So put left Rickenbacker in on eBay, which I still do to this day, just to see if there's any other Ricks up there. But this is the one that popped up. And so I've had this from the beginning. And it's the main guitar that I use. It's like the guitar I use on Young Men Dead and on the first record and Black Grease, all over the first record and second record.
That real clean, chimey stuff that you do.
Clean chimey, and with a Fender Twin and a Big Muff specifically, this thing really shines.
Yeah, I bet. And do you, now that you have the 3-pickup guitar with the Rickenbacker sound, do you use the middle pickup at all?
You know, I usually just use it in the top position.
Okay.
Sometimes if I want to get real thin, I'll throw it down there. You know, it's kind of a more buzzy, sitar-y sound.
Yeah.
But it's so thin, there might be something wrong with that pickup.
Now, you mentioned the sitar sound. If you go there, I don't see a sitar player walking around here, and if you guys play Manipulation live, does that go there, or do you guys just not even play
I
it?
actually use a different guitar for that.
Okay.
On the recording of that, we used a electric sitar.
Okay.
But live, I actually use the 12-string Rickenbacker.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But let's go there.
Yeah. So this is another one of my eBay searches that took years to find. I wanted this guitar so badly. It's the George Harrison 12-string.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and this is could be my favorite guitar that I own. It was the hardest to find, definitely. But yeah, I use this on Manipulation to get kind of that sitar-y sound.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm pretty obsessed with the Birds as well.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to.
McGuinn.
Yeah. That 12-string
Jangle
sound,
City.
man, it's so awesome.
This one looks pretty clean. Is this one like a newer one?
This one is, so the other Rickenbacker, I always thought it was from 2001.
Okay.
But I didn't think that could be right because it had like a real musty smell. And I was like, there's no way this is only like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Come to find out, I typed it on the Rickenbacker site. It's MD 2001, and that dates it back to 1978.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
What a cool find.
It was pretty nice, and I got it for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the person didn't know.
I got it for like maybe $1,200 back in 2003.
It's a good investment.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap for a Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
Especially a left-handed one.
I noticed when you were holding it up before that the dot markers were actually on both sides of the neck. Or
Yeah.
at least the side that was facing me too.
Well.
Like on the,
Yeah, that.
So I wonder if it was.
Rickenbacker tended not to be very friendly to lefties.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the R is upside down.
That's what was making me wondering if any of this was
and
altered.
I think, well, I don't know. I think the Rickenbacker logo goes the other way on righties. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
they shunned you guys.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Lefties.
They don't really. A lot of guitar companies don't make very many lefties. But you know, that makes the search more fun.
Yeah, and continuing along here.
Yeah, continuing along. This is another Beatles guitar.
Casino.
My Epiphone Casino. This one I used a lot on the first and second record. I don't use it. I prefer to use my Gretsch Country Gentleman, which we'll get to in a second, instead. So I bring this on the road and use it in open G.
Okay. Any particular songs that are in open G?
Bloodhounds on My Trail.
Okay.
It's pretty much all I use this one on, actually. Sadly, that's all she plays anymore.
Yeah.
And then here's another. This is my Country Gentleman. This is kind of my second go-to after the Rickenbacker. And you know, this is one that George Harrison owned. And also Lou Reed played this with a Velvet Underground.
Nice.
So, and this one was very generously given to me for free by Fender.
Wow.
Who also owns Gretsch now.
Yeah.
So they sent this to me, and it's become one of my favorite guitars.
I alluded to it in the beginning. You guys have a surf element in your music, but none of
Yeah.
these guitars. Well, I know you just mentioned that Gretsch is owned by Fender, but none of them are like your traditional
Right.
surf guitars.
Yeah, that's true.
But how do you? I guess, obviously with the left hand, so that's part of the struggle.
Yeah.
But like, what and made you end up? Was it just the love for the Beatles?
It was pretty
Kinda.
much all the guitars that I own is because I'm obsessed with the Beatles.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you know, it's fun to try to get that surf sound without like surf guitar specifically.
I noticed that when you do play, sometimes you'll play really close to the bridge.
I
if
do.
not
I
right,
love
just
playing
to get
down
that
here.
like that twang.
It does. It totally
to get
gets
like that Dick Dale.
Yeah, big time.
And
Yeah.
have you done anything to this one or any of the other guitars pickup wise?
Modified? No, they're pretty much all as they came.
Right on.
Yeah. And then last, this is my newest purchase. Like I said at the beginning, I had an SG, and it got stolen from our lead singer's house, Alex. And I got that Rickenbacker, but finally, about maybe a year and a half ago, I got this. And this guitar specifically, the reason that I got one originally is because I was really into Cream
Yo.
and the Doors.
Yeah. Perfect.
And this is pretty much just like Robbie Krieger's guitar with the Vibrola tailpiece, which I added on. And this is I think.
Is it a reissue or is it 61?
It's a custom shop.
Okay.
1962. And yeah, it's
Beautiful guitar.
It is, man. I think this is probably my favorite guitar as far as looks go.
Do you use the vibrato at all?
I do all the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
stays pretty true for you?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, wow.
Stays in really good tune. But yeah, man.
Strings, for what do you typically use on these
I
guys?
always use 11s. That's my favorite.
Has it always been the case, or is that something you kind of landed on?
I think at the beginning, like I started playing guitar when I was 20, so kind of later on.
Yeah.
I think my first guitar came with 9s. Found those just to be too slinky.
Yeah.
And then I went to 10s. And then by the time the Black Angels started, I've been pretty much using 11s.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to, be disrespectful to this bass. Is that something that's in your arsenal? The Echo
This
here?
is too, man. This is, I'm converted to lefty. And we have about 5 of these. This is our favorite bass to use. I haven't been using this on this tour. Alex uses it upside down to play a bunch of songs, Bloodhounds and Empire, a bunch of other ones.
What's the band dig about that particular sound with these old Echoes?
It's back to the Beatles thing again.
Yeah.
It's like the violin bass. I don't know, it's just got that like low kind of thump. And
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, and it's a very unique, hollow body basses kind of have their own distinct sound.
And it's probably like a lot cheaper and easier to acquire maybe than an old Hofner?
Yeah,
Like a Beatle bass like that?
It is. These probably run about 1,000 now.
Yeah.
And one of those is probably like 3,000 to 4,000.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's better to stock up on those than maybe.
Yeah, it is, and it sounds, just as good in my opinion. EKO, it was made in the same factory as Vox.
Oh, all right.
So they're good quality.
Cool, man. Well, let's move on to amps and pedals.
Yeah.
All right, Christian. This is truly my favorite part of the video.
All
I say
right.
this every time, but you are a man that speaks my language. You're a fuzz dude.
Yeah,
We'll
I
get there in a
am.
minute. Talk to me real quick about the twin reverb and why you kind of stick with that one so
Yeah.
much. I know this
and
has been something you've had.
So originally, when I started playing guitar, I got a Fox Valvetronics.
Okay,
One
yeah,
of those digital
yeah.
ones. And I found that I was just using the twin setting. It was a good first amp because I could figure out which amp I really liked. And I was always using the twin sound. So from the very beginning of the Black Angels, I've always had a Fender twin reverb. I love surf guitar, and what better amp than the twin reverb. I've actually had a third spring installed on that.
Oh,
They
wow.
come with 2, but this one's got 3, so when you
gonna-
crank it to 10, it's like 20,000 leagues under the sea.
I was going to ask, so you use the onboard reverb and vibrato?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite vibrato.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's a super deep reverb, and yeah, I think it's the best sounding amp
Well, I mean,
in the world. So.
that's a perfect jumping off point, man. Let's just hear the amp
Yeah,
by
yeah,
itself,
here.
and then we'll start diving into your pedals.
Yeah, so here we go. This is dry, just so you can get a feel for what the reverb does to it. The reverb, crank to 10, of course. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I like it because it's so clean, and I feel like my pedals can shine better through this amp. It's kind of like a neutral amp.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't color the sound too much.
And I was going to ask over the guitars, but it's more pertinent now, is with the pedals. Have you always strategically stuck with single coils and P90s because fuzzes sometimes kind of fart out with humbuckers, and they kind of they don't have their full dynamics?
Yeah, I think I've just been naturally drawn to the single coils.
The Beatles stuff.
Yeah, exactly, man. It all comes back to that.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into your pedals here.
Yeah.
What would you say is like your main? Well, first I'm going to ask, what's the fuzz you use the most?
Well, the first fuzz that I got when the Black Angel started was the Russian Big Muff, and I found that to pair amazingly with the Twin and the Rickenbacker. If I use the muff with some of my other guitars, I don't think that it sounds very good. So it's just specifically for this. So like Black Grease, for instance, is this sound with the big muff. It's just nice and thick.
Yeah, man.
You know, like a milkshake.
Is that like kind of like if people are coming to see you guys and you bust out some of that stuff, like Young Men Dead or anything else that have features that, is that kind of like the era of the band, or is it kind of just more with that guitar? With the muff?
I'd say probably both. I still use the big muff on all of our new stuff as well. That's actually my second one. My first one just broke this year, and it's in the shop. And so I didn't have that muff and had to order that actually on the road.
Damn.
And very thankful to get that back because I was missing it for about the first 4 shows.
I bet.
It just didn't sound the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Moving along.
Moving along, I think the fuzz that I probably use the most now is this Analog Man Peppermint. It's really good for lead stuff, and you can just tell it's not like the muff is thick like that, and this just has a totally different tone. It's got a real 60s sound.
Yeah.
They named it that because of the Strawberry Alarm Clock song, Incense and Peppermints.
Oh.
So it's supposed to kind of have that fuzz kind of sound. And it's germanium fuzz.
Did you hear that? Did you know that song and already know that? And,
Oh yeah,
okay.
I like at the end of that song that there's a badass solo that comes on, and it was modeled. I mean, this pedal is modeled after that. So when I saw that and the design, I'm into optical art, so that that drew me in as well. But yeah, it's great.
Cool, and you got another one up top there.
I do.
I love another Analog Man.
This is another Analog Man one. This one's silicon, and this is the Sunface BC 108, and it's supposed to mimic a blue fuzz face from like what David Gilmour used on Live at Pompeii. That's another video that I'm obsessed with. Is Live at Pompeii, and this is that fuzz face. So here's the sound on that. Different from, slightly different.
Have you ever messed around or owned or had they have the Sunface with the NKT chip? The
I have the NKT 275.
Oh, okay.
And
How come that's not on here?
It's not because it broke on the road. That's what I was using to do the fuzz face, or the big muff sound rather. And it's just it's super thick, but it's not as creamy sounding as the big muff, so it wasn't working as well for me. But if I had space on this board, that would be on here. And also if it hadn't broken on me.
Two huge reasons why it's not.
Yeah, I've got to send that to Analog Man. So if Analog Man is listening, I'm going to be sending my NKT275 pedal to you to fix.
So get ready, I guess. What's the Acid Fuzzer?
The Acid Fuzzer is this company called Acid Fuzz out of Los Angeles, which is really cool. This is supposed to mimic an MK1 tone bender.
Yeah, it kind of has that shape to it.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more nasally. This is like if I want to drop a bomb on a solo. This is my loudest fuzz, for sure. Here we go. And it can go from thin to thick, and I leave it on the thick setting.
Yeah.
Specifically because I have a thin fuzz already ready to go, which is the Fuzzrite Catalan Bread, and that's like a Mosrite Fuzzrite, and it's just my buzzy kind of fuzz. So it's like way different than.
Now the Fuzzrite, are you using that for like something like Your Mind? Like that's a real buzzy, like almost gated, buzzy B sound.
Yeah, I think I used to have Maestro, the Maestro fuzz tone. It's like what they used on Satisfaction.
Oh yeah.
It's similar sound to that Fuzzrite. But that pedal broke on me. A lot of pedals break on me.
Yeah,
on
you
the
seem
road.
like a heavy hitter.
I stomped too hard, man.
All right, moving along. What's the Green Ibanez?
Okay, the green one. So this is another original from the very beginning of the band, and I went to a Brian Jonestown Massacre show, and I asked the guitar player at the end of the show, "What one pedal should I get?"
Yeah.
This guy, his name's Ricky, and he told me to get one of these turbo tube screamers, and I've had it on there ever since. It's a boost, but it adds grit, so it's like. So I like it because it adds just a little bit of hairiness, but it's not quite a fuzz.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice overdrive, pushing the amp a little bit more.
I do, see, that's a cool story that you mentioned, Ricky and Brian Jones.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask, just because I didn't know you guys are based in Austin, I didn't know if they just hand those out to everyone, just because Stevie Ray Vaughan is such a big user of the tube screamers. Like, oh, you're a guitar player, here you go, here's a tube screamer, need one of these. That's right. You live in Austin, need one of these.
Yeah, that's right, standard issue.
Reverse delay.
Okay, reverse delay. This is another one of my original pedals. And it's like that Beatles kind of studio sound, a backwards pedal. So it's like. In my opinion, it's the best reverse delay out there. A lot of other pedals have them.
Yeah, I know the DD6 has a reverse setting.
But since this one's dedicated just to doing that, I feel like it shines.
Yeah.
And those are kind of hard to come by now. That's my third one of those because broke the other two. Those Dan Electros though, they have plastic jacks, and if I could get that rehoused, I would definitely do that. Because they don't do very well on the road.
Yeah, they tend to be pretty plastic.
Yeah. So,
we got looks like it got a delay.
Yeah, so this is, going back to Live at Pompeii, this is supposed to mimic the Echo Rec that David Gilmour was using.
Yeah.
And all of my delays actually are because of that Echo Rec. This is another one. The Boonar, this is the Echo 6-2. I like to have a bunch of different delays, so I can do different speeds anytime I want. Like this one will be my slower one, this is my faster, and then this is the brains of my operation right here.
Oh, the full tone.
full tone
I was
tube
going to ask if you had
tape
the, yeah, and then do you run that, the big muff into that ever with the delay?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Because that's David Gilmour. And
Oh yeah. Should we get a sample of that? That's like the
Yeah.
best sound in the world.
Well,
Fuzz and echo.
don't tell me with a good time.
Here we go. Nothing like that.
I love it. I can't get enough of it myself.
Okay, here this wah pedal is a V846 wah from 1968.
So no, oh, okay.
And yeah, it's like liquid dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's my favorite wah pedal. Had a couple of the V847s, but found, you know, the old 60s ones they made by hand are just way better sounding.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
And do you have you ever had to repair too much just with the wear and the kind of
actually that thing
treadle
has
cable?
been so, I mean, very dependable. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That old 60s pedal that I kick on constantly.
and it's
And it's still going. But my other pedals that are modern break on me.
See?
Quality.
Yeah.
They used to make things with better quality, man. I tell you.
Back when I was a kid.
Back when I wasn't around, they used to make things way better.
Holy grail. I thought you loved the reverb on the old Twin.
Sometimes I got to double up.
Oh, man. Oh, I shouldn't ask.
So we have one song specifically, Science Killer.
Oh, okay.
Where I just double up on the reverb. So this is just the reverb. And with this. And that chord will last forever. It's just to dive even deeper than 20,000 leagues if you need to.
No, it's like intro to like Bad Vibrations. Is that doubled up then, or are you just running the amp?
That's just the amp on 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Well, so this Bumble Buzz is one of my new favorite fuzzes. This is one from Jack White. This is actually a really rare one in yellow.
Yeah, we reviewed
They're
one that
mainly
was
all black.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure how many they made of that. Maybe only like 100. But this fuzz is awesome, man. It's like an octave fuzz. So nasty.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. That's my nastiest.
Yeah.
Good job on creating that, Jack White.
And I love it because it's like, I assume there's trem pots or some type of movement that can be done inside the thing, but like otherwise it's just set and forget it.
Yeah, I like that old school style. It's on or off.
Yeah, and it's definitely on when you hear it. It's definitely on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a subtle pedal.
Yeah.
What do you got the Maggie for?
Okay, so the last two pedals that I have are like vibratos, and the Maggie is supposed to mimic the vibrato from a Magnetone amp. The Magnetone amps, they used to make them in the 50s. I think they're making them now.
Yeah, they relaunched the brand.
But they were sought after specifically for their vibrato because it's very different than the Fender, which is choppy. You know, like sharper like that, which this is different because it's more. So that's just to add another layer of psychedelic.
Yeah.
Psychedelia to the whole situation. And the repeater is even sharper than the Fender. this effect was one that was built into the Vox guitar, Vox Ultrasonic.
I was gonna say that totally just sounds like a Vox sawtooth.
They had
grinder.
exactly. They used to have these guitars, the Vox Ultrasonics, that had the effects built into them. It was like fuzz, overdrive, and the repeater and the wah. So
Be a badass guitar.
I know, man. I wish they made it in left-handed because I would have one.
You'd probably be.
But
I'm sure you eBay searched that one already.
Oh, I do. But they didn't make any lefties of that. But thanks to Acid Fuzz, Acid Fuzz made this fuzz, and they made this repeater.
Oh, all right.
I'm able to pretty much have one, you know, because I have all the effects.
Yeah.
So.
And what's the rotosphere get used for?
All this is just my vocal stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Echo, rotosphere, and reverb.
Man.
So yeah, man.
Christian, thank you so much. We got to get cruising, talk to the rest of the guys.
Talk,
but thank you.
Talk to Jake and Kyle, man.
Dude,
see what they have.
We're going to. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Appreciate it, dude.
Awesome, man. Glad to talk to you, man. Peace.
Great. All right, we're on the other side of the stage with Jake now. Jake, how you doing?
Great today, thank you.
Dude, excellent. Thank you so
Glad
much
to
for
be
doing
here.
this.
Oh yeah, sure,
Absolutely, it's
sure.
our honor. Talk to me about this Gibson.
This is a 1971 Gibson, and I've had it for about 15 years.
Did you have a struggle to find it? Because
yeah.
Christian, you're left-handed.
Yeah, big struggle even back then. It was just, you know, there weren't many made, and you can't find them and stuff like that, you know, without, you know, getting them for an arm and a leg or something. But it's definitely a player's guitar. I've had it refretted by my friend Ed Reynolds.
Okay.
He's just outside of Austin. He did
So
a great job.
It gets a lot of work done.
Yeah,
It's worked out a lot.
It's got the Spurtzell tuners on it, Elkin tuners.
Have you done anything else to it? New pickups or anything like that?
Yeah, this is a Throbak situation.
Oh.
Throbak pickups, Throbak, which is a company that just, you know, the guy bought the original wiring machines, you know, from, from Heritage Guitars. I guess he found the machines back there. I think it's
literally throwback.
Yeah. It has 1950s copper wiring.
Wow.
Yeah, and it, you know, it's original stuff. You found a spool with that, so.
Damn.
You know, so you know that's what I use because they're underwound. They're not too hot. You know.
So I assume that they're P.A.Fs then.
That's
PF
right.
Okay,
that's right. And then I have graphite on my bridge saddle there.
Why'd you do that?
Graphite is just it's smoother for the strings to run through. You know. And
Get no burrs that way.
Yeah. So you know, it's all about pretty much tone and playability for me. So, you know.
And what is this a guitar that you use most of the night, or is this like specific songs or specific albums?
No, I mostly use this one or this guy right here, which is Fender, which is this is our
beautiful
Jaguar Kurt Cobain model, and it's got the hottest pickups. It's those are super distortions. You know? I like it because you go through a clean, you know, Fender amplifier, right? Mm-hmm. And it gives it that saturation, that sustain, and that dirt that I love. You know?
Yeah.
I love to get a nasty sound. I like the juxtaposition of having a nice, beautiful sounding guitar and also gnarly one when I need to.
Yeah, you're pushing hard.
Weapons, you know.
Yeah.
And guitar strap, my very close friend. Jessica made this, and she's amazing. It's jessimade.com, and she makes these guitar straps, you know, custom.
Is it leather or is it?
It's leather. Okay. It's bison leather.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm getting more made, you know, at the moment, like a red one, red leather and burgundy and stuff. But anyways, this guitar.
Lasts long, I bet.
Yeah. It's just, you know, I break guitar straps all the time, and you know, this is really durable, you know. So
killer, and it's always cool to support a friend too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the best, you know, especially when the craft is excellent, you know. So yeah, that's it with the guitars, you know.
And then you had mentioned the clean Fender amp. Which one's yours? Which one are you running through
I use a Fender Twin right there.
I've
had it, it's actually a reissue, but I've had it serviced by my friend Jack in Austin.
Okay.
He used to work for Aerosmith and all these bands as their guitar tech, right? Mm-hmm. Anyways, he kind of gutted it out and put some mercury magnetic stuff in it, and
just kind of supercharged it.
Supercharged it, you know.
Did you get a extra tube or spring like
No,
Christian
no,
has?
I just have standard.
We just have regular reverb.
I just have standard, but I do have mercury reverb driver.
Oh.
You know. And I use the Holy Grail.
All right, before the internet freaks out, I asked Jake before if I could hold his guitar, so that was that permission was granted. Because
That's right.
in the light when we were stepping out before we changed camera spots, we noticed that there's some knobs here. So Jake, what gives?
Oh, so when I bought the guitar, they whoever had the guitar before had coil tapped the pickups, which means that there was these little toggle switch on each one of these, and it was just unnecessary. I took it out and put it back. You know,
did
they
it
drilled
yourself,
into it actually. Yeah, well, I did the repair myself. Yeah, just like filling the hole and stuff. You know, that was years ago. So now it's back to what it's supposed to be, really.
Perfect.
You know.
And you got to do a little home improvement on it yourself. So
that's
cool.
right. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, talk to me about your give me the clean tone of your amp with the with the jack.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, just clean as you know. And then I always use an EQ pedal, so
all right,
you know, just to depending on the room, so I can adjust the EQ, kind of tune the room. So it's brighter.
And it kind of gets a little more, kind of just the tone's there, but it's a little more out there.
It jumps out. Yeah, it jumps out. So that's just a Boss EQ. I like to use that. You know, standard tuner. Next is Echo Dream, which is one of my favorites. It's like a memory man on steroids. You know, these guys at Death by Audio.
They do some great things.
Yeah, and great friend of mine, Oliver. He's amazing.
He's got a great band too.
Yeah. Place to Bring Strangers. Yeah, I'm a big fan. So anyways, this one goes, you know. Fun. It's kind of got that horror movie Halloween thing going to it. Next, I use this Hyper Fuzz. My brother gave that to me as a gift in 1994.
Did he give you a Metal Zone too?
No, just this fuzz. He knew I was a fuzz guy, but you know, getting into it and stuff. But I use the overdrive mostly on this one, so like but it gets, you know, really fuzzed out, like pretty wild, pretty nasty.
Yeah, is that what you're using for like Hunt Me Down?
No, Hunt Me Down is actually a fuzz right, you know, 60s fuzz right.
Well, let's hear that.
Which is my favorite, you know. So I just, for Hunt Me Down, I turned down the reverb all the way, and it's and that's I use also a
You just made my day.
Dallas Arbiter replica. It's like a Rangemaster replica made by actually Divided by 13 pedals. It's called a Dynaranger. They actually make really great pedals. I love that one. It has you can do you know, levels of overdriving the amp, so, and it's got a volume, you know, which goes really loud too. So
are you always using that with the fuzz right, or do you use this on its own?
I use that on its own. That's the Currency sound.
Oh, all right.
You know. So you can see the levels, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, on a Haunting, you know, it's you know, it gets real meaty. I use it on a lot of, you know, it's one of my secret weapons. I use the Dynaranger.
It's not a secret anymore.
On a lot of stuff. Yeah. It's out there, and I encourage people to get one.
Yeah.
You know, because they're amazing. I mean, Tony Iommi used you know, the Rangemaster, and a lot of other great guitar players.
Yeah,
Of course,
stuff we
Eric
all love.
Clapton and
Yeah.
stuff. This one's Thunder Tomato. My friend in Spain, Roberto's, makes those. Actually, he doesn't make them anymore, so I have like 5 of them, you know. But he made me a bunch of them, and he's actually like a professor in Spain, like electronics professor.
Oh, wow.
You know? But yeah, it's a big muff, you know, essentially. That's that sound. Next, I've got the Shapeshifter. You know,
Vibrato pedal, right?
I got into that from Black Rebel Motorcycle Club because I love them, you know, and the BRMC record. So it does repeater stuff, and it does just regular tremolos. You know, you can adjust it down and do stuff. The knobs are sensitive, so I have them gaff taped down, you know. As you can see, it goes pretty fast, you know.
Yeah, I can.
And then, you know, of course, the holy grail for just extra. That 60s garage sound, you know, which I love. You know, all those Texas bands, you know, like Moving Sidewalks and 13th Floor Elevators.
Yeah, Rocky's a big influence on you guys.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, big time. Then you got the wah, you know. The gold Vox, Vox wah. I'm not sure why it's gold or whatever, but my other wah broke, and I bought that in Brussels, Belgium. So it was in the glass case, and I said, I need a wah. Let me get that one. You know.
Yeah,
so
why not the gold
got a
one?
good deal on it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. This guy right here is actually made in Austin. It's called a Sex Drive after Charlie Sexton. It was designed for him. He's
from the
another great
Archangels.
guitar player. Yeah. Great guy too. But it's called Durham Electronics makes that. It's got a compressor on it. It's got tone and gain, so anything you can imagine. It's basically like a blackface amplifier in a box. You know? I use it for 12 string and stuff, you know, but and also for, you know, something that I might need louder or more pronounced notes, you know. You know, love that one. I had the they used to make a bigger box of that, but you know, I used it for like 10 years, and finally it died on me. So now they make a smaller one, you know. But
which makes your pedal board happy.
Yeah, there's your great. Which brings me to the pedal board itself. It's a Temple board, you know. And Temple, if you go underneath, you can see that it's got this. Seox power supply.
All right.
Which is this crazy German company, you know. It's like I could probably power the whole room and, you know, the whole block with that thing, but it's got a lot
Germans.
Yeah, it's got a lot of power, and it's great. So this pedal board is great because it's a light kind of airplane metal, and it can house the power supply beneath.
And I like the potential for zip ties or whatever you need to run through their cables, obviously.
Yeah, you can run the cables, you know, through the board itself because it's got these holes, you know, so that's nice.
And the last pedal we haven't talked about or heard was the Ghost Echo. So how do you use that different from the Echo Dream?
Yeah, well, the Ghost Echo is, okay, so I use this to drive, you can see, drive kind of a washy sound in, you know, so this is... But you can hear the difference. You know, and then it just gives that washiness, you know, to the tone, which I love.
I guess I lied. There was one other pedal we didn't talk about or mention how you use it is the Strymon.
Strymon, El Capistan, is basically replaced my real Echoplex because it was, you know, it's a solid state Echoplex and it's fragile.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so I can't take that out and, you know, all the time, and so I just use that for recording. So this is a pretty good pedal that replaces that sound. Yeah, you can get infinite repeats there just by holding that down. It gets pretty fast, you know. Yeah. You can actually get a expression pedal if you want to, but I don't really need it, you know. But it's actually got sound on sound. They've done a great job. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a Swedish company.
They're definitely wizards.
So-
They're sonic wizards
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So that's the echo that I use for instance, like on Live Song, you know, and a lot of other stuff like the Sniper, for instance. Yeah, Sniper at the Gates
of Heaven. Yep.
So that's it. Yeah, basically.
Dude, Jake, thank
That's
you so
my thing.
much, man.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate it. I know
Oh.
we eaten up most of your time. The band.
No, not at all. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you.
You know, I'm a big fan. So.
Dude, I'm a big fan. This is a treat.
Yeah, and also one more thing is I also have a Maggie just like Christian
Oh,
for
that's
the
right.
Bo Diddley. And of course it gets wild, you know.
Yeah, you
It
got
gets
the Bo Diddley.
It's the closest to the Magnetone
Dwayne Eddy.
amp that I can hear. Yeah.
You got the the
So-
spaghetti western stuff. You
Uh-huh.
guys do so well. It's like scary
Oh yeah, yeah. I
spaghetti
love-
western movies.
I'm a
It's
huge Ennio Morricone fan, you know.
Oh.
So also, but yeah. So
killer,
that's
Jake.
it, man. It's my pleasure to meet you.
Dude, my
Cool.
pleasure here. All right, last but not least, Kyle. Kyle, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Excellent, man. Appreciate it. We're
Yeah.
crunched on time, so we're gonna breeze through this, but we didn't want to miss out on Kyle's gear.
Cool.
Talk to me about this thing.
So this is a 65 from what I know. I'm not sure if it's all original or what, but the pickups seem right and the tuners I think are replaced, but mastery bridge, everything else is like it was when I got it. Got this years ago at Austin Vintage when I worked
Oh,
there.
nice.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Do you use it quite a bit throughout the night?
Yeah, it's you know, depending on the set list, depends on how many guitar songs I have versus keys versus bass. 'Cause
You're all over the place.
We all jump around. Yeah, Jake and Christian both play bass as well, and Alex. So yeah,
You guys are a group of musicians.
ambidextrous weirdos. Yeah.
Lovely. What else you got in the boat here for you?
Okay, so backup / number 2 is the 50th anniversary Jaguar with the mastery bridge. Thurston Moore scribbled on the back for
Oh,
me.
wow.
Yeah, this one's
That's
fun.
badass.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't play it as much. I've just been loving the Jazzmaster, and then the my bass main bass 72 jazz bass, refin obviously, but you know they don't do that at the relic shops. That's,
Yeah, no.
that is just pure sweat. 12
that-
years of sweat.
If you did that, they'd charge you extra.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that's the guitars.
Cool. What do you got for amp?
Amp is a 68, actual 68 twin. I put a new baffle and 80-watt Celestians in it.
Oh, why'd you move that?
Just because I run keys and guitar too, so I
Okay.
needed something super loud and clean.
Yeah.
As a, you know, the organs, they sound great in the studio with small amps, but live, I just wanted clean and loud. That's the same speakers are in Christians as well.
All right. And then for bass, are you running through the Ampeg then?
Yeah, bass is the SVT vintage reissue head. Pretty simple setup there. A clean DI for the ears, for people who don't want the fuzzes in their ears. Full drive to bass drive, big muff, reverb on the end for a few songs that get weird.
Yeah. Weird is good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And what do you got here standing in front of
So
us?
yeah, the Palisades is I've got an AB box that's backwards, so keyboards, guitar. That way the same signal chain can go into one input. But Palisades overdrive, just to give me 2 different distortions and a boost. This is a Fox tone machine that I built myself years ago out of original parts from a fuzz volume wah from Fox. This is a hoof, but it's all silicone. It doesn't have the half germanium anymore.
Did you take that out, or did you have Jamie or the
I
guys
had
that
one of the guys
Earthquaker?
there do
Okay.
it for me. It's more temperature stable,
Yeah,
and
that's the issue
it
with
has
those
more.
chips.
It has more sizzle too. I like it, but it's not as grr as the cloven hoof.
Yeah.
I guess for lack of a better descriptive term. Then the Kilobyte's just a nice delay with drive and feedback abilities. That thing with stickers is just holy grail. Then Hummingbird, which with a big knob helps me do it with my foot for the speed. Boost on the end so I can make myself hear more if I need to.
Yeah.
And then the Tap Tempo ZVEX trim. That's for the organ, and then the Maleko, that's the Barker Assmaster thing. It's a Maestro Brassmaster clone. So there's fuzz volume, guitar volume, fuzz level. Those old organs don't have, that's a 1967 organ. It doesn't have a master volume or anything.
Which I love, it's reamed from the air conditioning.
Yeah, air conditioning
company.
and hot water heaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just a digital mellotron, a couple weird modulation delay things.
You got a cavern, some
The
Keeley.
space spiral, and then the caverns, and yeah, they're fun.
And is the Vibro Champ
No,
for...
that's just for not aggravating the sound crew
Yeah.
when they're trying to test everything else. I can sit up here and mess around.
And be a weirdo.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah.
Dude, Kyle, thank you for breezing through.
Thank
you,
you
guys.
Yeah, thanks for fitting us in.
Dude, I appreciate it. Everyone's kind of running around this.
Yeah,
Sorry we
yeah,
didn't rush it
yeah.
through this, but thank you guys.
No, it's all good, man. Appreciate it.
Rig
Thanks.
Rundown. Thank you, Kyle.
Cool. Right on.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the latest Rig Rundown. Guess what? Every week we upload a brand new Rig Rundown to premierguitar.com a full week before it's available here on YouTube. So to get your gear fix as soon as humanly possible, go to premierguitar.com/Rig Rundown. And while you're there, be sure to sign up to get an email notification so you're the first to know as soon as each week's new Rig Rundown is available. Cheers, see you soon.